Who's in charge of the girls?
I came to work. See, I am a professional.
We're back with the third installment of Basically Extra. We are a little late. I am Jana Michael, and next to me is the official Tony in the Streets. He's not the official Tony Sells anymore. He's Tony in the Streets. Yeah, dig.
What's up, guys? We would have been here, for our March installment, except we were snowed in.
Yeah, we were.
Most of March.
Which prevented us from doing a lot of things, but we hope that you didn't.
From getting home from the studio one day for like 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Traffic was pretty much, we were in traffic all of March. So we understand if you haven't been interacting with us much on social media, where can they find us on Instagram?
You can find me on Instagram at TonyInTheStreets _ Twitter, Tony_Sells. And Basically Extra, that's basically.extra.
On Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at BIGGE, Bigga _ Notorious J.
And we have a special guest in the studio today.
Welcome, Reggie.
Hello, Reggie.
What up?
Reggie O is in the building. We'll be talking to him in a little bit, but Reggie, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at IBEREGGIEO. That's IBReggio on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you actually know him better than you think, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But our first basic bullet point for March, or, even though we're already in April, is the nor'easters.
Ugh. Do we even have to talk about it?
Yeah, because they literally, as we just said, messed up our
they pulled
entire
a Drake
lives
on us.
Yeah. So we had, honestly, I don't remember whether it was 3 or 4, but I feel like it was about 25 because we were impacted.
I lost power
every week in March.
I lost power it was like 2.5 days. We had to get a generator. It was nuts. Freezing. It was so cold. I sat in my car for most of it.
I'm pretty sure that kids are probably going to be going to school almost to July. Not that they're not already.
No. Well, in my township, I don't know where everybody else lives, but in my township, the kids actually lost days out of their spring break. So instead of starting their spring break last Monday, they actually started on Wednesday. So they had to go to school Monday and Tuesday.
I'd rather lose from spring break, though, than summer, for sure.
Absolutely. I think now they're up to like the 10th or something like that. I'm like, I graduated on June 18th, 2010. So I don't want to hear anybody complaining about graduating on June 10th. Yes.
That really is so late. Oh my gosh. Well, sorry kids, but no one was more sorry than we were because I'm so ready for it.
And you know what? All I can say is, and I've been thinking about this the past couple of weeks anyway, just driving home from the studio. And if you live in Philly, you can attest to this. So they always say like New York City, LA, and Atlanta have the worst rush hour traffic. Those people obviously have never been on I-76 during rush hour.
The Schuylkill Expressway?
It is always, it doesn't matter what day of the week or what time it is, actually. It doesn't even need to be rush hour. It's like 3 a.m. on a Tuesday and you're like, okay, why are we not moving?
No, because that's when they do construction and it doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't matter the hour of the day.
They've been doing construction since I was born.
I know. And I take that every day and I literally wish that I knew all the background. You think I would at this point, actually,
what I
but
always
I don't.
think about? There was a Disney Channel original movie called Twitches starring Tia and Tamara Mowry.
I remember
and literally,
that.
When she realized she was a witch, she was driving in her car and she literally snapped her fingers and the light changed from red to green and she got to just go right through.
Speaking of movies, though, there's one just like that. It's actually from Nickelodeon. Do you remember that movie, Clock Stoppers?
No.
Oh my gosh! So this kid had a watch, and you press the button, and it froze.
I do remember that movie.
Yeah. So that would be convenient, but either way, just have a nor'easter and then everything shuts down anyway, so you don't have to go anywhere and don't worry about it.
If I could stop time, if I could freeze time, do you know how many pants I would pull down? Oh my goodness, I sound like a pedophile, but I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I'm always so curious. So that would be where I would be like, okay.
All right, well, don't hang out with Tony in the streets
Just in case I get
on a snow day because he's going to pull your pants down, pretty much.
I'm going to freeze time.
I really can't. That was the major event that happened locally in March for us, besides our boys moving into the Final Four.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this final
Michigan
little bit
who?
happened in, this final part happened in April. But Nova Nation, baby.
Hello.
Second basic bullet point for...
We're actually recording this. It's Tuesday, April 3rd today.
Yes,
and
it is. It's Jude's birthday. It's my
we're in the
brother's birthday.
studio right now, and there's a parade going on. Not a parade, but a party. There's some kind of festival going on for Nova. I'm jealous.
Extend our congratulations.
Yes.
To them.
Yes, let's all get hoagies.
It's a great year in sports for Philly. So we need the Sixers to show out, and
absolutely.
And then the Phillies. I'm sorry, wait. So this is how you know, like, I don't pay attention to any other sport besides football. So first it would be the Sixers, right? Then it would be the Flyers, and then it would be the Phillies. Is that how the order of these
I don't know.
playoffs are gonna go?
I have no idea.
Yeah. See, Reggie's trying to.
I have
He's
no
like,
idea.
Well, kind of.
You know, I want to talk about something else other than sports. I want to bounce over to music real quick because I have to shout out my girl.
Our third basic bullet point.
Yes, Onika, Tanya, Mirage, Nicki Minaj, little Trini girl is the biggest selling female rapper of all time with 100 million records sold worldwide between her singles Super Bass, Starships, and all 3 albums consecutively going #1 and selling 5 million each.
And
hard
that happened
copies.
recently.
That's not streaming, people. Hard copy.
That was
albums.
announced earlier this week.
Yep.
And that actually was announced. I think it was still March when that was when that was
Yeah,
announced.
so shout out to Onika.
True March basic bullet
I'm ready for
point
this
right
new
there.
album. I want her to just kill them all, kill the rest.
And then you know what happens after that?
Tour.
A tour. Just so you know.
Reggie, you could be dancing on that tour.
I hope so.
Oh my goodness.
I hope so.
I mean, they're probably in rehearsals now or looking for dancers, so
Maybe. Trisha Miranda hit me up.
there we go.
Tony is wearing a jean jacket with Nikki's picture on the
And
back.
I almost wore it to the Demi Lovato concert a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago now. I only wanted to wear it to the parking lot so that way I could like face the Wells Fargo Center, have a picture taken of me from the back, and I wanted to be like, hey, yo, Demi, what's good? Because earlier that week, Demi, released a statement or some kind of newsletter or whatever, a magazine came out with her saying Nicki Minaj almost made her relapse her sobriety because of how mean of a girl she was to her at the Met Gala in 2016. I'm just like, ew. I don't think, in my personal opinion, a person would be able to make me, relapse. It would be my own head and thoughts and emotions and stuff like that.
But I mean, you don't know the headspace.
What could Nicki have done? I mean, she didn't speak to her. Allegedly, she didn't speak to her, and that was Nicki being a mean girl. She was kind of like shading her the whole time by not speaking to her.
Tony has officially not seen 13 Reasons Why, but I digress. That's
and all
fine.
I want to say is Demi Lovato's concert was boring.
What? I was actually there too.
I know you were there. I saw you in your seat.
And she made me tear up a little bit, but we have the same like family life. So
I thought her show was just dull. It was dull.
I love her voice though. So all she has to do
Reggie,
is sing
did I
for
not
me.
say it earlier? I said her voice, impeccable. Mm-hmm. Her thickness, I was like, yes,
Oh my gosh,
she looking thicker than a Snicker.
That is the first thing that I said when I walked through the door because we had gotten there right as she had went on. So as soon as we walked in the arena, she was already on the stage, and I was like,
you missed DJ Khaled?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I did miss DJ
my
Khaled.
goodness. I literally could have left after his set.
So people are saying that.
Oh my goodness. First of all, Kalani was amazing. She went first. And that song, Distraction, the memories it brings back to me.
I can't.
But
I'm done.
and her song
Deceased.
Honey, do some things to that song playing in the background.
Oh my God.
But
And people wonder why we call our show Basically Extra. Anyway, continue.
I'm not basic.
He is a little, but that's fine.
Nah, it's funny Tony's been a diehard Nicki fan since high school, so
Yes, exactly.
To see this
Let 'em
elevation
know.
of Nicki fandom
know. Since I was on the plane with the Wayne. Let them know.
Itty bitty piggy. I love that you just went
and
there.
And before that, the warning. What you guys know about it? Come on. You want a freaky girl? Welcome to Nicki World. But anyway, where was I?
Heart.
Yes, DJ Khaled shut it down. He came out. He told everybody, put their hands up. And it was a moment. It was such a good set. Like I wanted to leave, actually. But I was with my cousin, and she's such a Demi fan, so I stayed.
That was very nice of you to grace Demi
I will
with your
tell
presence.
you, yeah, I mean, my presence is a present.
I'm done.
But Demi, I will say her voice was great. She looked great. I just like DJ Khaled went out there with so much energy, and he was like into the audience.
Did he dance for the audience?
No. Well, he did his little Rihanna, that Wild Thoughts thing that he does, a little cha-cha thing. He did that on stage, but his energy was great. And I just feel like, yeah, when it comes to her. I hope I don't butcher his name, but shout out to Jay Foose. He danced for 4 years for Britney Spears in Las Vegas. And
yeah, girl.
I actually spotted him on stage with Demi.
Oh, congrats
shout out to him.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yes, I was like, yes, look at him and all that chest gloriousness.
I loved the production value of that show, though. All her digital stuff was great. I'm not gonna comment. She's an advocate, and you can definitely tell.
I like her a lot. I do. I like her a lot. She's the reason why I don't like Taylor Swift at all, because I think Taylor Swift was such a mean girl to her.
For me, I just love
Taylor
Demi's
Swift
voice.
is, if you guys didn't know, the Regina George of the music industry.
I think that's pretty apparent.
Yeah.
I think Kanye saw to that.
Yeah.
If anybody had any doubts, but I just love Demi's voice. But you know how I am with theater. And so for everyone listening, little insight into me. I am a total nerd, no shame, don't care, love theater, perform all day. I can actually kind of sing a little, so can Tony Obbs, but I
little old May can hold a note.
Anybody with raw talent like that, and I appreciate it. And she could have just been up there playing piano, playing guitar, and she would have brought me so much life, because she would have given me so much life, because I just think that her voice is so raw and it houses her emotions, and you can just hear it. Like, I mean, I'm not comparing the two, but in terms of the emotion in the voice, like Billie Holiday had it, Nina Simone had it. Like, it's just when someone sings and you can feel.
I definitely love her performance of "Tell Me You Love Me."
Yeah,
those live vocals during that song were great. I loved it.
My favorite part of the show was when everything was stripped down and she was on the bed.
I want to sing so bad right now.
Go for it.
You do.
Anyway, speaking of raw talent, your girl and your boy announced that tour, and I'm going July 30th at the Lincoln Financial Field. Jay-Z and Beyonce on the run too, and there's an album coming. I cannot wait. And they were spotted in Jamaica filming a music video. This is nerve-wracking because I love them so much.
He's been waiting to talk about this. I know you can't see him, but his voice or his face just says it all, that he's been waiting to bring up Jay-Z and Beyonce.
So some of the perks of what we do, we know things sooner than others, right?
This is true.
You can say that, right? And so it kills me sometimes because I'm like,
you can't say anything.
I want to go. I want to let everyone know we're going together.
So Jay-Z and Beyonce are going on tour. Next basic bullet
Oh
point.
my goodness. She did like 15 minutes on Demi Lovato and she said next when it comes to Beyonce.
Listen.
That's a nerve-wracking concert to go to. You
yes.
You gotta risk getting evicted to go to that one.
Yeah, you do. I'm telling you. Everyone's tax returns.
My ticket was under $120. I'm sitting in section 106. I'm 12 rows from the stage. 12 rows from the field. So I feel like I made out excellent.
Are you
excellent?
Are you a member of the official Beehive?
I am not, because I am not paying the annual fee to be a part of the Beehive.
I was just checking.
I'll buzz here and there.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Yes.
So are you taking me with you?
No.
That's so rude.
Unfortunately not.
You're fired.
You can buy your own ticket.
Oh, it's so rude.
Yes.
So if you don't hear him on the next episode,
who else is
why.
going on tour this year, Jana? I know Justin Timberlake's going on tour.
Taylor Swift's going
on tour. Ed Sheeran, Sam Smith, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Britney Spears.
I feel like there's somebody big and I'm forgetting them.
Oh, no. You know who I would send my tax return on? Because, I already bought my ticket to Beyonce and Jay-Z. I just want Chris Brown to take all my government money.
They just announced that. That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
How did I
Chris
forget?
Brown tour. Oh, my goodness. I just can't wait. Breezy is everything. I just want him to sweat on me.
I just really want him to bring royalty.
No, she needs to stay in the back.
her.
She can't witness what we're about to do.
This is definitely true. It's definitely not going to be appropriate in the slightest. However, I just think
he liked like 3 of my Instagram posts so far.
Well, Pinarose on your nose. No,
Yes.
Actually, that's friggin' dope.
It is.
Were they
he doesn't
obviously
follow me,
about
though,
him?
Chris.
So they were about him, obviously.
Yeah, I posted some stuff about him in the past.
So Tony thinks that he's got a super fan stalker in Chris Brown. You're so cute. But anyway, so don't ask Tony for anything else, because he's going to Beyonce, he's going to Britney, and he's going to Chris Brown, so he ain't got no more tax return funds to spare.
But you know what? The regular checks be rolling in, so we Gucci, baby.
I hate him.
We Gucci, baby. Pink.
Tony Braxton.
Pink.
Tony Braxton.
The reason why Reggie brought that up is because he just danced with her
Hey.
on the Today Show, right?
Yes, I did.
That is
How
amazing.
epic was that?
Last week.
That is a moment I will never forget. If I'm having a bad day, I still play the song that we performed, and my life is amazing.
Because it was a moment.
Yes, it was.
Like, who can say I danced with Tony Braxton?
Iconic.
I
Like,
just took a picture with Patti
iconic.
LaBelle at Women of Excellence.
I know you did.
So
I saw it.
know that
But
feeling.
She called me baby, and she said, "Excuse me, baby."
She's so sweet. No, but that was a moment. And that's what you do. So
He does
That's
this,
the
guys.
top.
He was in a Macklemore music video.
Macklemore, what up? My Seattle fam, what's up?
That's awesome. Yes, talk about it. Talk about your things. What
My
have you
things.
done? Give us your record, your credits.
Well, I've danced for Macklemore, the band Perry. I did a commercial with Samsung. I've done a few catalogs. Keke Palmer, check us out on Wildin' Out pretty soon, the newest season.
So excited.
yes,
So
Reggie.
shout out to Top Hat Rosero for hooking me up. He was the choreographer. It's always a pleasure working with him. He actually, I found out he creative developed Usher. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that's a name that I definitely want on my resume. So
Yes.
for somebody who creative developed Usher to always find work for me, it's always awesome. So, and working with Keke and Tony as of late, like, they're amazing people. Keke, she brings her mom, that's her momager. So, her mom's hilarious. Like, she had the studio smelling like fried chicken one night. And we left, we had an hour break. We came back and the studio smelled like chicken.
Well, I hope you at least had eaten, because
Oh, yeah, we ate.
Okay.
We ate.
Okay.
Awesome. Can she cook?
I don't know. Well, we went to the diner,
Oh, I
so
was gonna
I don't know if she
say.
could cook. Keke was supposed to be rehearsing, so I guess
Okay.
she only rehearsed for 30 minutes and then ate the other 30. But we'll never know.
Okay.
Well, we can come back to that. We'll have you back, and then you can let us know if you found out if her mom can actually cook or not.
I got you.
That about wraps up the major points for March. But since, we have one more big event that happened in March. Spring is here.
Nice, but it snowed, so that's why I couldn't think of it when you were trying to give me the cue to talk about it.
I'm looking at him and he is not picking up on my cue
Yes,
whatsoever.
I'm like, wait, hold on, this isn't one of our points.
Which means, you know what happens always as soon as spring hits.
What?
Well, it didn't mean the snow stopped because we got snow earlier
Right,
this week.
and we're getting it again
But
this weekend.
you know what does stop? the majority of everyone's relationships if there's no ring on it. There were a lot of breakups that happened over the last 2 weeks.
Yikes.
Am I wrong?
No.
And you could be like, oh, you were reaching for that tie-in. No, I wasn't, because everybody broke up over the last 2 weeks.
Yo, Hank Bassett and Kendra Wilkinson Bassett. She is a hot mess all over Instagram. Girl,
you
pull
talk
it
about
together.
that.
But you know what? 10 years. She said that her heart will always be open for him, but they need to go their separate ways.
Do we know what happened? You definitely know. We were talking about it earlier.
There was speculation a few years ago that he cheated on her with someone who was transgendered. He denied the claims. She believed him in the end. She didn't at first, and then she believed him in the end. And I guess for the past 2 or 3 years, they may have been fine. They were fine to the public eye, which I'll get to later. You know, things being fine in public eye and then not so fine when
behind
the door
doors.
closes, right? But yeah, she took to her Instagram story and she just let it all out. And you know the Shade Room catches everything. Mm-hmm. Homegirl was just bawling her eyes out, and you kind of felt her pain right through that Instagram story. And it was like, damn, 10 years. Like, she met him while she was still filming The Girls Next Door.
I know.
So
that's insane. And there's only one son, right? Little Hank.
No, they have a daughter too.
They do have a daughter?
Yeah, I don't know her name, but they do have Hank Jr. and a daughter. But you know what? Well wishes to them, and I hope that they can co-parent the right way
and move forward civilly.
Yep.
Because it's all about the kids. It really does hurt the kids.
And you know what? I'm glad that they're not trying to publicly fix it for the kids, because that's like the worst thing you could do.
Cue Tori Spelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't even get into that. Because there was an even bigger breakup that rocked the entire world. At least I was actually really upset about it. Because if you do a striptease on Lip Sync Battle for your husband and can't even make it through, then there's no hope for the rest of us. Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan Tatum have officially called it quits. I'm sorry.
But
I'm a little
they did
emotional.
it so classy.
They did. Class act. They put out a joint statement.
So classy.
Can you pull that up and read that for us?
I can pull it up. Yeah. So in a joint statement that they put out, I won't read the whole thing. You can hit up. I mean, it's all over social media. So if you just type in hashtag Channing Tatum, or it's actually he posted it to his Instagram. But they end it with, "We have lovingly chosen to separate as a couple. We fell deeply in love so many years ago and have had a magical journey together ever since." He goes on to saying, we won't be commenting beyond this, and we thank you all in advance for respecting our family's privacy. Sending lots of love to everyone, Chan and Jenna. You know, they met years ago. They're not lying. I mean, do you guys even know what year Step Up came out? I remember seeing it in the movie theater and loving that movie.
We were in middle school when that movie came out. So They must have been, if they weren't still teenagers, they were only in their early 20s.
Yeah,
so they essentially grew up together. That's probably why they do have so much respect for each other. Because they grew up together.
Yeah, Channing Tatum's the only man on this planet that I want to be. Besides Reggie Oliver. But if I could be another person, it'd be him.
I mean, he seems like such a stand-up guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Beyonce rendition he did on Lip Sync Battle.
Legendary.
Oh my goodness. He got the queen to come out.
Bottom line, Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan Tatum did it right, in my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of breakups.
A lot of breakups. Which is going to bring us to our special guest today, Reggie. Reggie was recently married, and he's only 25 years old. And something that I've been thinking about a lot lately is I want to know what keeps a marriage alive in 2018. You see all these breakups, going on. Social media is such a force in this time, and it ruins things.
But it also is the whole reason why you all know who Reggie O is, because take it away, Tony and Reggie.
Reggie's wedding was featured on the Shade Room. The Shade Room is a big platform to be featured on in 2018. You want to be featured on the Shade Room for your talent.
That's how you go viral.
And there are millions of people who follow the Shade Room, and hundreds of thousands of comments on each post. And a bunch of celebrities follow and comment and are very active on the Shade Room. And Reggie got that. I've known Reggie for a long time. We went to high school together.
BHS,
yes,
Owl Nation, let's
everybody
go.
do the Beat Town Rumble.
Hey.
Everybody do the Beat Town Rumble. Beat Town Rumble.
I'm not included. I'm from Jersey, so it's fine.
But yeah, so like I said, I've been giving a lot of thought, and back in the 50s and 60s, and even when I was raised by my grandparents, and I used to think like everything was joint. Like my grandfather always made it a point, like what's mine is yours, and like my grandma would have dinner ready for when he walked in. Like the table would be set every night. She cooked, and the table would be set before he walked in the door from work. Food hot, like she would have it timed out, like food hot, he walk in the door, put his lunch bag down, sit down and eat dinner. Like and this was around the clock, Monday through Friday, my whole childhood. And I just see things are so different now, and I even see friends that I've grown up with and they're just not together, and you see them blasting each other on social media, and it's like,
and these are people that got married and
so
divorced within 4 years.
So young.
It's insane.
And it's such a light to see how in love Reggie is with his wife.
Which is beautiful. You have to take us through your story, because everything, he will tell you what went viral, where you can find that. Just tell us about that entire, first of all, start.
And where'd you get the idea for the wedding? That's what everyone wants to know.
Well, first
but start with where you guys met. Let's go there. Let's get the whole rundown.
Okay, so we both have the same dance mentor. Shout out to Thomas McIntyre, Philadelphia Dance Center. And we actually have the same dance mentor, so I taught a workshop there, and she saw a picture of me through some mutual friends. So she actually stalked me for 4 months before we met. Yeah, she's like, she openly admits it. So she stalked me for like 4 months, and then she found out where I was teaching adult classes. So she just showed up, and then ironically, I had the biggest crush on Zoe Saldana. So my wife actually resembles her. She denies it cold-heartedly. But
I'm gonna say this right now. Zoe Saldana is one of my favorite actresses. Yes, because she was in Crossroads.
I was just gonna say, does this have anything to do
my
with
favorite
Brittany?
scene is when Taryn Manning's character Mimi gets allegedly bit on the behind by a snake, and Zoe Saldana's character comes out of the tent and she's like, "That's it. We're leaving at the crack of dawn. Nothing's biting my ass. I cannot take it." But
so you knew he was going to take it there.
Like Zoe.
Man. So yeah, she denies that wholeheartedly though, and pretty much she went to a Chris Brown concert. She's a big fan of Chris also, and she sent me a tweet actually, and she said, "I can see my hip hop instructor dancing for Chris Brown." And I tweeted her back. I was like, you know what? I'm not really about this Twitter life. Just shoot me a text message. So 5 minutes later, I get this very overly extra text message saying, "Hey," and then I was just like, "Hey, what's up?" So
we don't hate it.
So we started talking for a little bit, and then we went on our first date. Our first date was a movie date because we had a nor'easter around that time.
Shocking.
So I shoveled out my car and I went to pick her up, and the options were between the SpongeBob movie and 50 Shades of Grey. I know nothing about what 50 Shades was about, so I felt a little awkward. And I was like, I'm starting to think this movie is
it's a setup.
Yeah.
It's a setup.
So yeah, moving forward, she that same night she was like, yeah, like I've been waiting. She was like, we're gonna get married, and I was like, okay.
So it was like set in stone pretty much from day one.
Yeah, she said she knew. So
that is amazing.
And ironically, her brother's name is Reggie. Her dad's name is Reggie. Aww. There's a lot of Reggies. Yeah. So moving forward to the wedding, man, my name means king. So we just thought it would be really cool to have a Cinderella themed wedding, but of course I'm probably one of the only guys that are interested in planning a wedding too, so we just wanted to make it all around royal. So we planned it. We used 2 venues. We got married in Jersey. We had an outside portion, and then we took a horse and carriage to Lucian's Manor.
Berlin. Hey, Berlin. I know exactly where that is.
So yeah, it's been amazing just getting married, and then for the wedding video to go viral, like that was just something that was very genuine and pure to my heart. She's a big Michael fan, so that's why the song choice was
Michael
there.
Michael Jackson's feet tattooed on my back moonwalking.
My middle name's Michael.
Like Michael
Fun
Jackson.
fact.
Really?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
Nice.
So Reggie, how do you guys keep it fresh? What about every single day is new or is routine? And why do you think that your marriage has been successful thus far versus our peers who are our age getting married?
It's simple, honestly. We don't try. We just don't try. I feel like when you have to try something, it's not natural.
Wow.
And literally, we are two of the goofiest people. Literally, I don't know any person who does not like her. She is gorgeous inside and out.
Literally, I met the girl, I think, in person for the first time at Applebee's, and she gave me a hug.
Yeah.
So
she's just that type of person. Me, on the other hand, you got to get to know me a little bit.
Reggie hugs me all the time.
But no, really, we're two of the goofiest people you'll ever meet. Our neighbors probably hate us. We have sing-alongs in our apartment, and we jump on the couches, we dance on the counters, and we keep it nice, of course.
That sounds like Tony.
However,
and I on a Tuesday.
Right. This is exactly what we do.
Oh man, if you follow us on Instagram, literally there's a video of us in our onesies and we're dancing and we're doing the freezer challenge dance.
I did see
in
that.
our onesies, going to the elevator just to go into the lobby of our apartment complex to do the freezer challenge again in our onesies.
Wow. So I understand you guys went away for your honeymoon. Where'd you guys go?
We went to the Dominican Republic.
How was it?
It was awesome. Everyone thought we were rich and I was all for it. And also everyone thought we were Dominican.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
That oh my gosh. And cue the hilarity. Let it
So
ensue.
you were telling me earlier you guys are going back for a special occasion.
Yeah, we're going back for our anniversary in July.
That's so
That's
cute.
so
Yes.
Keeping it goofy
adorable.
100% of the time.
So is that the key then? Is the key to keeping a successful marriage in 2018 just being natural,
Yes.
being goofy, being
Be
your
friends
100%
friends
self.
first.
Yes, friends
first.
100%.
Absolutely.
You know what? I agree with you. And I'm going to tell you why. And I want you to tell me yay or nay. Our generation did not necessarily grow up with the internet and social media since day one, but it really did play a huge role in our formative years in terms of middle school, high school, and then, the collegiate years on.
Of course.
So I feel like maybe we're not as bad as maybe the generation on the come up, but so much of people's relationships are for the gram.
Yeah.
It's not real. And I feel like people are so worried about how they look that they're forgetting A, who they really are.
Yeah.
B, they're afraid to discover who they are, because let's be real, you cannot make anyone else happy. If you're trying to align yourself with who you think that you want to be, rather than really truly getting to know yourself. Like I said earlier in the show, I am a total nerd, but I wouldn't change that about me whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I think that is a huge issue with our generation, which is the reason why, we're getting married, then we're getting divorced in 4 years, or we're not even interested in the institution of marriage itself.
Well, Kaya and I, for the first
Wait a
couple
second,
of
her name
months-
is Kaya.
Kaya.
That is my niece's name. Sign. And today's my brother's
First of
birthday,
all,
and that's
Kaya, aka Thug Mrs.
done.
All you ladies pop. Yeah.
I can't.
But for the first couple months of our relationship, we didn't even post about each other on social media.
That's
No
key.
one even knew that we were in a relationship except for our close friends.
Right.
That's
So
awesome.
that helped us, gain our friendship. So we
Stay off the gram, kids.
Yes.
spend those months
Yes.
going on trips and traveling and do
You
all
have
that
to.
stuff.
So
Mhm.
truly getting to know each other
Yes.
in, you might say an old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not big on online dating. I'm sure I sound like 47 years old, and you're probably not wrong if that's your assumption.
No.
But I've never been into online dating. I feel like so much of our lives are wrapped up within social media. Even just like what we do for work, it plays such a huge part in our daily lives, and that's just not ever how I personally pictured meeting any significant other, really, especially because
It
again,
takes the magic out of it.
right. It takes exactly. And it also, when you are looking for someone, it shouldn't be done in a catalog type fashion, which is exactly what I feel like online date and that's just my personal opinion. Now I know a lot of people that have had success, but that's just not my scene. I just can't see myself finding a successful relationship that way. Again, not knocking anybody,
but wow,
it really is. It really is.
So that was it. So that was so genuine, and definitely sitting here in the studio with Reggie, we can tell you guys that was 100% authentic and genuine. We don't have scripts here.
No.
We talk how we feel at Basically Extra, and we thank you for sharing that. But something I wanted to shine a little light on, because we are so excited to be a part of something coming up.
For Reggie.
We're going to let Reggie talk about it. I want you to talk about it, what's going on, what the event is, how it came about. Reggie is so multifaceted. He is a dancer. He's danced with the likes of Malcolm Moore, Toni Braxton, Keke Palmer, and that's just to name a few. He is a very special person in person, and when you really get to know him, he does great things
for the community.
Great things. So he's going to talk about something, and then we'll touch on how we're a part of it and how we're excited. So Reggie, please, what's coming up this month?
This month, April 27th and 28th, I am hosting my 3rd annual on the 28th Dance to Be Cancer Free Marathon.
Awesome.
Yes.
And it is a 10-hour dance marathon where people, the community, the dance community comes out, and Tony's over here sweating already.
I'm sweating already. I'm like, 10 hours. What was it?
But the dance community comes out, and they take dance classes from instructors. This year, our lineup is so crazy. I had a few friends that actually, unfortunately, couldn't make it. One of them, Miss Teresa Stone, she dances for Lady Gaga. I was going to have her she's danced for Lady Gaga. I had her on the lineup, but she can't make it. She's on tour with Todrick Hall at the moment.
No big deal.
Goodness.
She can't make it because she's she's on tour with Toddy. That's fine.
But shout out to Teresa. She was actually my partner for Toni Braxton. So we have a 10-hour dance marathon, and the lineup is crazy. The day before, we have our 1st annual black tie event. It's expo style, so I didn't want people to feel like they were obligated to just sit in one room. So I want everybody to just mingle and mix with each other, and we're going to have performances.
Keeps the community vibe, kids.
All of this is, again, to raise money and awareness for cancer. It's for the people. I want to give back to the people who are fighting this, for the caregivers as well as the patients, because as I was helping my mother with her struggle, I realized people travel from Los Angeles and Chicago all the way to Philadelphia just to get treatment, and that can be very taxing on your pockets. So that's what our mission is to help raise funds for those people fighting this ugly fight, and just making their lives a little easier.
And it's a beautiful mission.
Yes.
Tell people where they can get involved, where they can find more information.
You can find more information on my Instagram at IBReggieO. You can also go on Facebook and search me up. I have 2 pages, Reggie Oliver, and it is Dance to Be Cancer Free. 27th is the black tie event, and the 28th is the dance marathon.
And where's this all going down?
The black tie event is actually going down at the 332 local in Philadelphia, PA. And the dance marathon is happening at the Philadelphia Dance Center in Northeast Philadelphia.
And just in case anybody was wondering, Tony in the Streets and Jana Michael will be in attendance. Basically Extra will be there. Come on out. It's going to be great.
Come on out. Take pictures with us.
Put your good stuff
us up,
on.
Make us feel like we somebody.
And not only that, just give back, man.
Yes,
it's never
absolutely.
It's never too much to give back.
Out of a room full of 100 people, and I just want to touch on something real quick. This past weekend, we went to the 5th annual WDAS FM here in Philadelphia. It's a Philadelphia radio station, Women of Excellence, where great and inspirational women were honored with the Women of Excellence Award. And one lady spoke on cancer, and she said, "Please stand." Was it Frank? I think it was Frankie Darcell.
It was Frankie Darcell. A jock on DAS who also has received a cancer diagnosis.
Right, and I want to say, when she said, "Stand up if you have ever been affected by cancer," you personally. A bunch of people stood up. Then she said, stand up if you have had a family member or a close friend or loved one been affected by cancer.
Almost every person
Literally,
in that room.
I think every person in that room. And let me tell you, there were 1,100 people in that ballroom.
It's called the Big C for a reason.
So I just want you guys to know that this event is more than dance. This is more than getting to know your peers and mingling with people and coming out.
More
to
than
see,
a networking event.
You know, local famous people, if you want to say that. So, or people who are in the entertainment business. This is more than that. This is for charity. This is for the bigger picture because there are people who need our help. And I think that's why we are put here.
Get involved. We want you to get involved.
Reggie, I applaud you.
Thank you.
So stand up. For years, you have been this person. So this is authentic and so real. And to know you is awesome.
And we thank you for coming out. We want we want to know if you would come back later this month when we do our April episode. We keep talking about it and we're going to do it. We have to do it, especially now that we have people interested. We want to do an episode on relationships and really talk about where they're going.
We'd love to have Kaya. So if you can convince her to come down, we have a fourth mic here in the studio. We'll pull up a chair.
Okay.
Kaya, we know you're going to hear this. So
come on down, girl.
Come on down, girl.
It's gonna
we'll get Applebee's after.
Yeah, Applebee's.
Nah, she's a Fogo de Chao girl.
Oh,
I don't even know what that is. Am I out of the loop?
Dude,
It's a
you gotta
steakhouse.
go.
Oh my goodness!
Delish.
You have to go, man.
If there's chicken fingers there, I'm there.
No.
He's such
I
a
have to
cheap
eat
date.
that.
We talked about it before. Take this kid anywhere. As long as they have chicken fingers, he's straight. He's good.
That's right.
But thank you for coming down, Reggie.
Reggie,
We appreciate
thank you for
it.
having me.
So much. And yes, we want you to come back as soon as you can. Okay. So you come down with Kaya and we'll talk about some more things. We'll get her perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And thank you, Jana, for having me.
Thank you, Tony in the Streets. It's all love here at Basically Extra. Guys, we apologize again for not getting this episode up right at the end of March, but it's only like a week delayed, so like you have to forgive us. We've been battling nor'easters for a month, okay? Anyway, we are out. I am Jana Michael. Find me on Instagram at Biga_NotoriousJ.
Reggie, where can they find you?
They can find me at IBReggio on Instagram. That's IBEREGGIEO on Instagram.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, Reggie Oliver.
Hit him up, follow him. Yeah.
Do all that.
Yes, Reggie, literally, because I just have to add this real quick. Because of the Shade Room, and I'm going to say it, I'm going to throw some shade. Reggie got like 2,000 more followers than me because of that little post. Okay,
my bad.
That's all good because you know what? That's 2,000 more people that are going to come out to this event and help us end.
But you know what, Reggie?
Cancer.
I don't compete with nobody else but myself. So
right,
I'm
Nikki.
out. Follow me on Instagram at TonyInTheStreets_. Twitter, Tony_Cells. And I would give you my Facebook, but I don't like you that much. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
Follow us on Instagram at basically.extra. Till next month, guys. Be safe. We love ya. Bye.